I am Narada, the great Indian mystic, and I'm going to see God. I'm playing on my veena and I'm passing a forest. I come across a very old sage sitting under a tree. This old man talks to me and says, "You are going to God? Please ask one question from me. I have been making all kinds of efforts for 3 lives. Now, how much more is needed? How much longer do I have to wait? When is my liberation going to happen? You just ask him." Ha! I laugh and I say, "Okay." And I progress further, and just by the side, under another tree, a young man, I can see him dancing with his ektara, singing, dancing, very young fellow. And he looks very happy. He must be just about 30. So I asked the man, "Would you also like to ask any question of God? Because I'm going there, I'm going to meet him." "That old man, your neighbor, has asked. Would you also like to ask?" But that young man does not reply to me. He is continuing to dance, as if he's not listening at all, as if he's not there at all. Well, I go on to meet God, and after a few days, I'm on my way back, and I see this old man again. And then I go up to him and I say, "Hey, I asked God. He said 3 lives more." Oh my God, on listening to this, the old man threw the beads and he is in a rage. He throws the scriptures that he was, having in his hands, and he says, "This is absolutely unjust. 3 more lives." I listen to it. I can't do much about it. I move on to the young man who was again dancing, and I say, well, although you have not answered and you did not ask, but I asked God on your behalf. And I'm really sorry to say, this is what God had to say. I'm really hesitating because, that old man screamed at me. I don't know how you're going to react, but I have to, in any case, tell you. So when I asked God, "How much longer will this young chap live?" So he said, "As many times as there are leaves on the tree under which he is dancing." And you know what? After listening to this, the young man starts dancing more ecstatically. And he says, "So fast. There are so many trees in the world and so many leaves. Only this much. Only these leaves. Only this many lives. I have already attained." When you go next to him, please thank him. And you know what? I saw a miracle happening after that. At that very moment, the young man was liberated. At that very moment, he was liberated. This is the crux of sense of gratitude. So, like Ralph Waldo Emerson says, cultivate the habit of being grateful for every good thing that comes to you and to give thanks continuously. And because all things have contributed to your advancement, you should include all things in your gratitude. What a beautiful saying. So, the habit of being grateful has to be cultivated for every good thing that comes to me. I have to be continuously thankful. And I have to be thankful for everything. Cannot exclude anything. A well thought out thank you instead of half hearted thanks often leaves people feeling pretty good. So it is how you say it, from where the thanks is coming, decides your gratefulness, your gratitude. So gratitude is not just an action, it is a positive emotion, which is really important because it serves a purpose. Gratitude goes really deep inside, it comes from very deep inside. At this point, the facilitator can ask the participants to do a small activity. Ask them to take a pen and paper and think about when have they felt grateful, in at which occasions, and how did they feel at that time. So let them think about it and write down that situation, and also how did they feel when somebody did something for them. There are two defining features of the sense of gratitude. One is unconditionality. Whenever somebody does something for you which is unconditional, or you do something for somebody which is unconditional. There are no expectations involved. That is a very important element of feeling grateful. And the next element or the next feature, another feature about the sense of gratitude is reciprocity. Whenever somebody does something to you, for you, out of sheer unconditional love, without any expectations, it generates a feeling of reciprocity. So, unconditional and reciprocity, they are two features of the feeling of gratitude. Now, there are a lot of studies and research done to prove the positive effects when the sense of gratitude is there in a person. For example, well being. When one expresses one thanks, it creates an overall sense of well being. It becomes very powerful tool for having very strong interpersonal relationships. The level of optimism goes up, the level of happiness goes up. Research has also proved that there is a stronger self control. There is a stronger the way people lead their lives, a better way of people leading a life, better physical and mental health, and overall better life. Gratitude is also felt in sports. So there are a lot of researches which have proved the positive impact when a person is filled or full of the sense of gratitude. Just sit back and imagine the applications of this research. The potential for a happier and healthier world may lie in a positive emotion as simple as gratitude. So, being thankful can give us resolve we need to make better choices in our lives and for the ones we love in the most significant ways. So, conclusively, we can say gratitude is a human emotion that can be most simply defined as appreciation or acknowledgement of an altruistic act. The best part about this is that gratitude actually costs nothing to practice. So, we can practice the feeling of gratitude, and here the facilitator can ask the participants to get into pairs and practice gratitude. Maybe they can thank each other for something that they have done for each other. The debrief for this will be by the trainer, by the facilitator, that so we can develop gratitude for someone, towards, for someone or some people. This feeling will be associated with that person or people, isn't it? What if I want that feeling of gratitude to be constant inside me? What or who is the most constant presence around me? Allow people to answer to this question. The answer to this is nature. So, nature is the most constant presence around me. And when I start feeling gratitude for nature, I'm invariably covering everything that comes or is part of nature. When my heart expands so much that my feeling of gratitude to everything around, to nature, also expands. And how does my heart expand? How do I allow my heart to expand? Only when I constantly feed it with positive vibrations. And this is where the trainer can link it with heartfulness meditation.